Well, welcome everyone to the latest in the EHE webinar series. Today it's all about Cayuse, and Neil and Bing will introduce us to what that is and how as PIs you can use that tool to help manage the development of your proposals. By the way, I'm Kim Lytle. I'm the Assistant Dean for Research in the College of Education and Human Ecology, and you can always reach out to me as well. And I'll put contact information in the chat room for all three of us. Bing and Neil, please go ahead and let's get going.
Thank you, Kim. Hello, everyone. My name is Neil Kelly. As Kim mentioned, I'm a Senior Grants Manager in the College of Education and Human Ecology. We're going to go over Cayuse 424 is the official name. It's a Cayuse 101 series because we are just going to provide an introduction and show you the powerful tools available. So today's learning objectives. We're going to hope you learn how to locate, log in, and create a proposal in Cayuse. We'd also expect you to learn about useful time-saving functions in Cayuse. And finally, be able to identify common problems with proposal packaging and troubleshoot warnings and errors. So what is Cayuse 424? It's a web-based software service that provides faculty, researchers, and support staff an easier, faster interface to grants.gov for submitting proposals to federal agencies. We all know grants.gov is not the easiest. So with Cayuse 424, there's no need to log in directly to grants.gov. Cayuse collects all the necessary data and attachments. And here's the key: it performs the validity checks and makes automated system-to-system submittal through grants.gov. How do I access Cayuse? Well, the easiest way is to go to the Office of Sponsored Program website. You can see the link provided. On the left side of the page, you will see eTools. Select Cayuse 424. You'll start with your regular name number, but be careful here. The password is not always associated with your name number. It could be if that's what you named it, not necessarily. If you don't have a current password for Cayuse, please follow the link provided here below. Here's a screenshot. Hopefully you can see this. Username, password. On the right-hand side under the gray column, if it's your first time signing in, click here. The Office of Research will walk you through it. If you forgot your username or your password, click here. In the end, you can always contact Bing or myself for assistance, and we'll get you going in Cayuse. So the first real, how should I say, the first important thing in Cayuse, you can use it to locate funding opportunities. Well, most of the time, I know I do, I go to grants.gov and find it there. But with Cayuse, there's an area where you can browse the opportunities, typical search methods in Cayuse. Look for the opportunity number, the name of the agency, or you can look up the CFDA number. Now, this is not a very clear shot, I apologize. This is the main screen. When you get into Cayuse, you'll see right above, there's a row of tabs you can select. Right now, we've selected the opportunities, and as you can see, there are a great number of opportunities available. Here's the opportunity number. Way over to the right, you'll find your CFDA number. I find it easy to look for education, specifically IES. I know the CFDA number. It's easier to look up here. I think Bing prefers with NIH the opportunity number. You can find it. If you need help finding it, let us know. We'll locate it for you. Um, so, Bing, do you want to take over and we'll take a run through what Cayuse actually will look like when we log in?
Go ahead, Neil.
Okay. Well, what types of submissions can be submitted through Cayuse? Well, most federal agencies, including NIH, NSF, the Institute for Educational Sciences, USDA, other Department of Education opportunities. But remember, not all of them will be available in Cayuse. With NSF, you have the choice. You can use Cayuse or you could log into Fastlane and create your proposal that way. Basically, it's the PI's preference. Of note here, these are for federal agencies, so you're not going to find a state agency or industry or even a private foundation won't be loaded in Cayuse. You'll have to work directly with Bing or myself. So who does what? First, creating the proposal in Cayuse, the PI can do it, or the grants managers. An important note here, if you the PI plans on creating the proposal in Cayuse, please let the grants managers know. We don't want to have duplicate proposals in the system. Our preference would be to have Bing or myself start the proposal in Cayuse. Accessing the proposal in Cayuse. So I create the proposal in Cayuse. With you as the PI, you are automatically included in Cayuse. You'll see your name. And the grants manager, myself, will appear. If you want other personnel loaded, in Cayuse, we have the ability to add certain people. The Assistant Dean for Research in our office, we can get her loaded. We can also set the these permissions can be set up. We can, if you have a manager in your office you want to provide access to, well, we could provide a read-only access. So these are the types of things you'd want to work through with your grants manager. So locating funding, grants.gov is the easiest way, in my opinion. But if you log into Cayuse and select the opportunities link, you can search for funding opportunities that way. The typical methods used are the opportunity number, the name of the agency, or the CFDA number. Again, remember, some opportunities are available, but they'll need to be requested to be loaded into Cayuse. Your grants manager will handle these requests and get them loaded. NSF, again, those proposals can be created in Cayuse or Fastlane. And please remember, all NIH proposals are created in Cayuse. I referred to this just a minute ago. We're logged in to Cayuse. You can see the ribbon, the opportunities page. There, your first column. You can search by the opportunity number. Scroll over. You can do it by the agency or the CFDA. Again, if you have difficulties with that, please contact Bing or Neil. Bing?
Thank you. Thank you, Neil. All right. Share my screen. Now we're gonna do a quick demo for Cayuse system by using a mock proposal, by creating a mock proposal init. This is only an overview in general, so we won't be able to cover a whole lots of details as to how to enter the data for the proposals. But if you have specific questions on certain sections, please feel free to jump in and ask. Here is a landing page once we log in. A few links here, but the only two top ones are what we usually use when we start a proposal, while the others are basically for administrative purposes. The first is opportunities, which shows, it goes back to the slide Neil just showed. It's a list all the currently available funding opportunities in Cayuse. As Neil just said, it can be searched by the program or opportunity number, this column, or CFDA or agency's name. Let's do a example here. If we wanted to, we want to search an NIF, our parent R21. Because I already know the program ID, I just simply key in the opportunity ID here. Then search. It shows me. Sorry, it's one. Yeah, it shows me. This is a NIH parent R21 right here. If you are not sure or you don't know about the opportunity ID, you only know, oh, okay, this is an NIH grant opportunity. I just want to search by agency's name, NIH. Okay, it's another way of doing that. Yeah, it gives you a list of NIH opportunities that are currently available in Cayuse. Okay, just different ways of searching. Then we go back to overview page. The second tab is proposals. We use this a lot as well. Proposals. Sorry. I was in a proposal. Okay. Here we go. Just we're here. So this proposal page, it listed. It's a list of all the proposals we're working on or we worked on before. Your screen, when you after you log in, may have a different look from mine because this screen only shows a list of proposals that you deal with within your own profile. Okay, so your screen might look differently from mine. Remember that. Then on this page, on the top right corner, we have a tab. We can create proposal from here by clicking it. So this is small screen here. Normally only the top one is applicable for us. The others normally are just NIH internal opportunities. So we select the grant.gov or research.gov tab and click on Create. So now what we're doing is to create a mock proposal here. We're just doing what we just learned. Search NIH. Okay, what opportunities are available from NIH? Let's choose the top one. It's a NIH Research Project Grant Parent R01. We click on the plus sign here. Okay, then we just get ourselves started with this proposal. We key in proposal name, just title. Okay, then search PI. I will use Kim's name for this mock proposal. Search the PI's name. Okay. We make
Bing,
Kim
Bing,
yeah.
This is Kim. I just wanted to remind everyone that you don't automatically get listed, even though a PI has PI status at Ohio State. The PI might not have been loaded yet into the Cayuse interface, so that will have to happen. So don't get freaked out if you're not listed. We can get you added.
Right, Kim, that's very right. Okay. If you're not listed in the system, we can make a request to OSP to add your profile in Cayuse. Organizations, it's Ohio State. Default IDC rate is on campus for NIH grants. For R01, normally we have 4 or 5 years. Let's select 5. Due date, we just assume the date here. Okay. Validation type, NIH. So after we have all this info in, we get the proposal started right here. Okay, the first page is a basic project info, the applicant info, the institutional contact info here, which can be auto-filled by clicking on this sign. And you can choose the SPO from a list of SPO here.
Bing, this is
Yes.
Kim again. So
Yes.
these first few fields, first of all, this is not something the PI has to do. That let's get to the point where the PI would actually, be interacting with the content on the site. All of this stuff, you or Neil will take care of this. Let's get down to the parts where they might actually be interacting with the content a little bit more deeply.
Okay, then we can start from this section. Are other project information here? See a few questions here regarding compliance. It's a human subjects or animal used or other compliance concerns here. Basically, these questions need to be answered by PI themselves, or PI can provide answers to grant managers for him to enter that info.
So Bing, I'm going to ask you another question. So there's different ways that the PIs can interact with this interface. So we do have PIs that send all the information to you and Neil, and you basically, and the PI doesn't even get in here. I mean, there's that situation. There's other situations where the PI really wants to be like the leader in the creation of the proposal. So when you look at like 7, 8, 9, and so on and so forth, some PIs actually go in and upload their own documentation. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then sometimes they ask you or Neil to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically a PI's preference.
Yeah, okay.
If he wants to upload those documents themselves, or they send them to grants managers for grants managers to upload.
Yeah. Well, so this is where a lot of these documents get attached. So if we go back over to the left here, click on key personnel, key persons.
Key persons. Okay.
Yeah. So you can see that I'm already loaded in here. Do you ask the PI and say, okay, who are your co-Is or your co-PIs? And then you would then put them in there as well? Like you
Yes,
would.
Kim. Yes,
Okay.
Kim.
Okay. And I see that there's the bio sketches and current pending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these are all documents that you're going to ask the PIs to,
Provide. Yeah.
provide, but you would attach them. Okay.
Yeah.
So the budget, we're not even going to look at that because that is very specific to the work that you both do, but of course you sit down with the PIs. What are some other things down there that, oh, well, like the research plan, gosh, click on that. Let's see what's there. Okay.
Yeah, the pieces and parts listed here
Uh-huh.
are specific to this opportunity, say NHR1. But if you are doing NSF or USDA, you will see a different set of required documents on the list.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, because in NSF, they don't even call that a research plan. I mean, it's a narrative or, yeah, so there's different wordings that they can have. So in enrollment report, what is that?
Yeah, this is when you have human subjects in the research. You provide further info there.
Okay. Yeah, because that's not something in NSF that I've ever seen that we had to include. So Bing, what do you think the bottom line is in terms of working with PIs in this interface? And Neil, you can get involved too, but what seems to work the best in terms of the relationship between the grants manager and the PI?
Works best.
Yeah, what works best? Or is it very specific to the comfort level of the PI themselves?
I think you hit it on the head there, Kim.
Okay.
I know my faculty. I've been working with most of them for a long time. I know which ones want a hands off. They want to send me the required documents. I send them an email with the required documents, so there's no surprises at the end. Others, they want to get in there and get their hands dirty and do it themselves. It's knowing who you're working with and finding out.
Yeah, and maybe new. Yeah, and new faculty maybe that haven't used Cayuse or they're not totally familiar with NIH, maybe they would need to have more help than folks that are very, very familiar with the whole process. Bing, do you find the same sort of thing happening?
Yeah, I totally agree. I have the same experience. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I have one more question about this interface. What is that error warning info thing down at the bottom?
Yeah, that's a very important feature of Cayuse. If you click on that button, okay, now we can check what we're missing for the submission by clicking this button. By checking each error here, error or warning or info, we can see what still needs to be done, or what info is still missing. Let me take one as example. Type of a submission shows as an error. We click on that, it takes us all the way back to the project info page. So the type of submission should be application. Then, yeah, the error went off from the list right here. Yeah, it's no longer
from 43 to 42. Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, 42. Then type of application. We'll see as a new. If we select new, and it's gone as well. Then just for us to remember, a proposal would have to be error-free before it can be submitted to the sponsor. Warnings in the info are basically fine if just kind of reminded us something we need to be careful or still, but it wouldn't stop the proposal from being submitted.
Okay, well, this looks good. And just a reminder, as many of these sections will be filled out by the grants managers or Amy Sanford, or who is our SPO, but whoever the SPO is of your college or your department. And
I'd
so,
like one point, Kim.
Sure.
To the left of the page, where you're seeing the key personnel, the other project information, you notice little check marks. If there's a check mark, say for the performance site, that you see that little square is checked, that is required. If it's not checked, it's not required, but you still want to check and make sure make sure if you do want to submit something, check the box.
Okay, well, that's good to, yeah, that's good to know too. All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish up here. Of course, it's always important to make sure that content is uploaded, created in a timely fashion. Of course, Cayuse cannot evaluate the how good the content is that is actually uploaded, but our grants office will do as much as possible. We are very willing to review the content as more than just making sure that there's something in each of these slots so that it in fact can be submitted. Okay, well, thank you very much, Bing and Neil, and we will have next month we have a webinar coming up on effort reporting, and we'll make sure, oh, and then also to submit or not to resubmit, that's also coming up in November. We'll make sure all those opportunities get out to everyone. All right, well, thank you so much.